recording. Okay, awesome. Thanks you guys for joining us. So thanks for switching with us to Monday. So I know that we had done it. We had been meeting on Sundays. Some people said that would work out better. So we did that. And so anyway, it's working to switch it to Mondays for the majority of the people. So that's what we're going to do. So from now on, it'll be on Mondays at 7. And here is the one switch that'll happen is the second Monday of every month. We will, so our typical things that we do on Mondays at 8 o'clock, we're switching that to once a month. And it's going to be the second Monday of the month at 7 o'clock Central Time. So Tammy, it won't be a 10 o'clock time for you. So we're going to be announcing that on our 8 o'clock event tonight. But our focus is going to shift in both places for more action type things. So things that you can take and actually apply to your businesses and help your businesses grow. So we're going to have guest speakers that come on. We're going to have people sharing that have things that are working for them. And a few people that are on here tonight are going to share some things. But anyway, so that's going to be our focus. So that when you walk away from here, you have some things, because you've probably all heard people say, do the do. What is that? What is the do? And people will say, just keep doing what you're doing. Well, if you're doing what you're doing isn't working, how do you adjust that? And if they say, it's all about duplication and you're duplicating somebody, and you'll hear some leaders say, it's not what works, it's what duplicates and works. And so we want the whole team to grow, and we want to be able to share those little tidbits that are working for people. So I'm going to just recap a couple of things with the word wow. So working with intention is the first W. So work with intention. And that's like setting your goals. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? Time block. And this kind of goes back to the Focus 40 when they talked about, setting your time with what you're focusing your time on, being intentional about it. Like if you are spending a lot of time commenting on people's Facebook posts and things like that, if you're spending 45 minutes on that and only 2 minutes on actually reaching out and connecting with people, that's probably not the best use of your time. You still need to connect with people, like commenting on their pages and their stories and things like that. But, time blocks so that you don't go down a rabbit hole with stuff. And then use your systems. We have the app, we have, the graphics that the company shares with us. We have, marketing stuff that the company shares. People in this team are sharing different marketing things and work. And then lead by example. When you have a team, if whatever you expect your team to do, be doing that yourself. And I know that, we always look to Lacey. She's always doing things and she's always leading by example. And that's what we try to do for our team too, is we won't ask you to do something that we're not doing. And then the O is own your business. So success, I can say the word, it depends on you, not on your upline. And I know that sometimes, we never look to what Amber was doing. Lacey, of course, is our mentor. So we want to be ambassador. So we're going to learn from her for that. But we were worried about what we're doing. We're not worried about what she's doing. And so unless it's something like, if we can learn from her and apply it to our business, that's what we're going to do. But we don't compare ourselves to her and we don't worry about what she's doing. We worry about what we're doing. And then stay consistent. So that being consistent, it's hard. Think about, rolling a stone up a hill, or even when you're walking up a hill, when you get momentum and you keep going, it's easier. But if you stop and then have to start over again, it's twice as hard. And so same thing with your business. You want to stay consistent. And then develop a CEO mindset, invest in your personal growth and be on these trainings. That's huge. One thing about training. So the etiquette of being on a Zoom. And I know that, sometimes we just assume people know everything, know what they should do and how they should respond. And so when you're on a Zoom, one of the things is, and I'm ADD. So if people are up moving around, and I know sometimes like when we've been on our 8 o'clock one and people are in the kitchen cooking and they're walking back and forth, it's really distracting. Not just as a person talking, but as somebody that's watching. And so, so if you have to be up moving around, just turn your camera off And then that way you're just, that's good etiquette for the people that are on the Zoom. And then really just, if you're on there, that's kind of one of those things about being intentional. When you're on the Zoom, be intentional about paying attention and, have notes, or something to write with, because somebody's going to say something that you want to take with. And I know you can go back and watch it, but sometimes when you write it, not sometimes, when you write it down, it implants in your brain better. Okay. So it's a good idea to just say, and take down the things that you don't have to take down every word, but take down the things that are going to have an impact on you. And then, track your progress. So, we talk about things all the time when you set your goals and like how many subscriptions are you trying to get a month? How many new signups are you going after? What kind of volume are you going after? How many follow-ups are you doing? And just tracking that so that, are you hitting your goals? You can say, well, I think I did it, but did you really? When you track it, now you can see, what, I did follow up with these 10 people. I did reach out to these 20, whatever it is. And then you can see, is your business growing? If your business isn't growing the way you want, ask yourself, am I tracking it so I know where I can make adjustments? The W is win with connection. So we talk a lot about connection and about relationships. So build relationships first. And we've always, we always know that you can throw stuff out there, you can throw stuff at people, but if you haven't built a relationship with them, the chances of them joining you and trusting you decrease. And so, and then serve, don't sell. Educate and let them know that you have a solution for their problem. And then celebrate the win. We do a really good job on this team of celebrating everybody in our team chat, of celebrating everybody and boosting each other up and supporting each other. And so that's super important to uplift everybody that's on the team and help people feel important. And then duplicate and evaluate. And just here's the thing about duplication is it's long-term. If you can, for example, subscription right now is a huge thing. We know that it's residual income. So if you can get your people to understand the value of subscription and get on subscription, you don't have to keep reworking with. Now you're going to work with them because of course you want to take care of your customers, but you don't have to keep going back and seeing if they want to order, because they automatically have stuff in there, subscribe and save. They know that they're saving money. They learn how to hop in there and change it. So it becomes long-term and sustainable for you. And so that's huge. Two things I'm going to just share with you that were really effective for us this month that we focused a lot of time and attention on. And I use the app, and what I use the app for was, first of all, the clear protein. So, that we hit top 10, and it was because we focused on using that app and being intentional, reaching out and sharing. And then when people clicked on it, then I could hop in and I could really give them some personal information about it. And then the second thing with that was the subscription. So I use the app to talk about subscription, sharing information about the difference in the amount of money they were spending or saving using subscribe and save. And so both those things, because we were intentional about focusing on them, went up, and our volume went up substantially because of it. And so, so that was one thing that we were intentional about focusing on. And if you haven't used the app yet, I would encourage you to, start using it, and doesn't matter, start out small. If you have to start out with just, what's your favorite thing that you like in that app? If it's a science on protein, then maybe that's the video that you send out to all of your frontline people so that they understand protein. It's not selling them clear protein. It's just helping them understand what protein is. So Chanel's video on that, and a lot of people they're interested in that stuff. It's something of value that you can give them. And it's not, here, buy my product. It's, here, some information about how you can help yourself and solve the solution about a problem of not getting enough protein in. And so just find something. And then I would suggest, 5 to 10 people. It takes you it'll take you less than a minute to send it out to each person. They have the AI in there that will create a chat for you or create verbiage for you. If you don't like what they have in there, you can hit the button, I think 3 or 4 times, it'll reword it. But I sometimes go into ChatGPT and just put it in there, because sometimes because I've used it so much, I can make it more personal for me by using that and say, hey, make it sound more like me, or I'll say, don't make it so salesy, or don't make it sound so spammy, or whatever I say. And then ChatGPT usually can get it down. And I just copy that into my app or to the verbiage section of my app and use that. So before I'm going to open it up and have Heidi share some things, but before I do that, we know we have a new product coming at Fling. Our understanding is that you're going to be able to get it at Fling. That's when they're going to start with it. Melissa did, like, nobody seems to know, like, it hasn't been leaked as far as we know to anybody as far as what it is. They've been giving hints about what it could be. Like, a couple of the hints were that it was, if you can think, energy, anti-aging, sleep, metabolism, and then the name Benjamin Button was shared. And Benjamin Button is a movie about somebody aging backwards. I didn't know that, but that's what it is. So those are some hints. Now, Melissa Adams, she has on her page daily, she's putting things out. She has kind of an idea of what it might be. And here were the tips that Chanel gave us and that Josh gave us. They said everybody's sharing it on TikTok. They're taking it if you can think, taking it at night to sleep. And so we went to TikTok and looked, we, put it in ChatGPT. We came up with like magnesium. That's one thing. There is another ingredient. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, so we know it's something with magnesium because that's a big hot thing. I have heard Kella talking a lot about hot girl drinks, right? And so, yeah. And so when she talks about them, she's talking about what you mix with. She goes, oh, hot girl drink is like the drink you really like that's mixing things together. That's what, whatever. Right. But that was something else that Chanel had mentioned. So I'm like, people are giving all these little hints. So my tip to you is to definitely follow like Robin Packard, Jana, Melissa, because Melissa's going, and she's just having her team take and copy and use those things. So anyway, so make sure that if you want to go in, I took Melissa's today and put it on my page. If you guys want to take and use them and put them on, you can change graphics or just use everything right the way it is. And what they shared with us, or what Melissa shared, is that she knows this will lead up. If we can keep putting these hints out there, it's going to lead up to when the launch happens. People will already be thinking about this. Because if you think about, like, when we were doing it with protein, we were talking a lot about protein, led up to the clear protein. And so now people are like, oh yeah, I need protein, and they understand the value of protein. So anyway, just be paying attention to that. Okay. All right. Heidi, would you hop on and just share some of the things that we talked about today, if you would?
Yeah. And then you were just talking about that product that's coming out. Sheila always has stuff out on that new product too. I grabbed one of hers that she had out. So it does show that it is a liquid. I did see that. So I grabbed one of her posts and put it on my story. So it's showing that it's another liquid, but I don't know other than that. So
yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. If you're following Sheila, she's always putting stuff out there. Yeah, so Jan and Greg just wanted me to talk a little bit about what I post and things like that, or what I do. But honestly, the main thing about what I do and doing the do's, I know everybody's do's are a lot different and they can be different for their businesses, but mine are probably different than everybody else's. When I come home from work, from the school, I come straight down to my office, and how I consider it, or what I call it, is clocking in. And that's walking through my door down here and shutting the door. And that is clocking in. And like I said before, Ron knows when that door is shut, I'm clocked in, and don't bother me, pretty much. And that is my way of, I'm focused and I don't want anyone bothering me. And that is the way that I'm going to build my business, because I cannot be bothered. Same as on a Zoom. When I'm on a Zoom, I'm clocked in. I'm always in my office. He knows that. He always asks, how many calls do you have tonight? What time are they? So he knows when that door's shut, I'm clocked in. Do not bother me when that door's open. I'm clocked out. So that's always one of my main things is if I'm going to build and I'm going to be focused on my business, you have to be, I've always told myself, I have to be in a room with a door where I am enclosed with nothing bothering me. There's no radio in here. There's no TV in here. Nothing but a fan blowing on me or a heater blowing on me to keep me warm. So that is one thing I do recommend. If you do not, if you have an office, go in there, shut the door. If you don't have an office, just find a room where there is a door where you can just shut everything else out and just focus on your business and just, you know, clock in, clock out for an hour, clock in for a half hour. But I would give yourself, you know, pick certain hours that you're going to, you know, just focus on your business, because I had to do that at first because if I didn't, I had kids calling me. I had other people, you know, calling me saying, you know, let's do this. I have to be focused on my business if I'm going to go anywhere. So I probably work it a little bit longer and more than I should. I take a little more time away from Ron, and I'm noticing it a lot more now than he has mentioned it to me now that I'm kind of down here more than I should be. But I have dreams and goals, and if I'm going to do that, I'm going to be down here. So that is one main thing that I do is clock in and clock out. I'm very consistent at what I do, and if you do have those dreams and goals, you have to be consistent. There's not going to be anybody out there on your social media that are going to come back and watch what you got if you're going to post one day and skip 3 days. So you're going to want to be consistent and keep doing what you're doing, or they're not going to come back and look for what you got. So just keep doing that. And then I know this is something that I had brought over to Jody's one time when we had a little team meeting over there. It was supposed to be all of us there. I know Betty wasn't there that time. It was me and Jody and Nancy. And it was kind of just a little thing that I went over with Helaman, and they're really good questions to kind of ask yourself all the time, because, and I have this here on my desk every single day, and it's questions that I ask myself. Are these things that I'm doing every single day to build my business? And I just thought I'd throw it at you guys, just that if you want to write them down, you can. Jody and Nancy probably have them. Betty, I don't think you were there, so you could write them down. But these are just good things to ask yourself every day. Managing expectations. What can you do differently now that hasn't worked in the past? So if you're kind of in that, you know, stuck in that moment where like, okay, what am I doing? Like, what can I do that's not working for me? Just ask yourself that. What can you do differently that hasn't worked in the past? So I have these sitting on my desk that if I'm sitting here and there's, you know, I'm stuck and nothing's working, I'll look at these questions, and then my mind is constantly spinning. So if I'm doing something and it's not working for me, I'll sit here and I'll just drop everything and I'll sit and think, okay, what can I do different? And so that's one of my do's. Like, it's not to go back to my Facebook and just sit and scroll. That's not one of my do's. I sit and I think, okay, what can I do differently? So that's just one of my do's that I just do differently. What can you do to shift towards business? Where are you going to get people to talk about the business? So there's two different things to talk about the business. Is it the same people looking, liking, loving your posts and stories? So you can always go back and look at your posts and see if it's the same people looking at those. And then when you're talking to people about the business, either on a live or in person, are you excited about it? In order to get people to come to you and to want to join you, you have to show your passion and excitement. So make sure you're showing that on your lives. And even if you don't, you guys, I've even done this lately. I've changed it up from doing a live to just a regular video. And I've done a video and just put it on my page. That way you can make it a longer video and you can talk more about the subject or the product or whatever and go more detailed into it. And you do get a lot of people that watch it that way. And I've changed that up a little bit, and I have gotten a lot from that just by doing just videotaping yourself and putting it out there if you're not so much all about lives. And I have gotten a lot, and that way you feel a little bit more comfortable talking about the product and then what it does and stuff like that. So if you want to switch it up, I did that a couple times with the clear protein, and I got a lot of people messaging me on that. And definitely show your personality. I know all of you guys have great personalities, so show those on your lives and your, videos. That definitely makes a difference. And then do you guys all have whiteboards? Like your Founders Club and that kind of stuff? Definitely, if you don't get those are very, very important. I can tell you right now, that is what has gotten me Founders Club every single year since I've started. I have my big one down here that I look at every single day, and I write my goals on there, and my Founders Club, everything is on there. And if I didn't have that, I can guarantee you I wouldn't have made Founders Club every year. That track everything. And let's see. I think that's all I have on there. Let's see. Yeah, and so make sure that it's not just social media. Make sure that you're talking to people in person about the products and about the business. Don't just, because that's part of the do's. Don't just post stuff. Get out there and talk to people in person and show your personality. Talk about the products. We've got amazing products. This clear protein, it's absolutely amazing. I have this mug with me everywhere, and I have a bag with me everywhere I go. And there's no reason why this product can sell itself. So just make sure that you're talking about the products in the business to people in person. And you guys, I've been using Chat GPT for everything lately. And I've been changing up and just putting different posts out there about how good it is for women, men, elderly, kids, and using that Chat GPT, asking and just saying, give me some good verbiage on how good clear protein is for kids. It pops everything in there for you, and boom, you have your post. You just need to put up the perfect graphics. I put a picture of Bodhi drinking it, a picture of the protein, and you guys, it's crazy how many comments I've gotten on that, how many people message me. I just had Stacy just used my post from that day. It's crazy what that app alone can do for you. And just the things that I have figured out with that app, I've gotten 3 different ideas from that app alone. Jan, do you want me to share those? You want me to share those, what we talked about?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I have, like I said, my mind's constantly spinning. And so I've come up with 3 different ideas lately. And I think these are great ideas, and I'm just stoked about them. And so this is something that I was going to talk to my team about, but since Jen and I talked about them today, I'm going to talk about them on here because I want everybody to duplicate this. And I think it's going to be a really good deal. And I know it's going to work because I think these are great, great, great ideas. So first of all, one is this clear protein. It's all about clear protein. So one is, I was actually sick laying in bed, and I'm like, okay, what can I do with this clear protein that nobody else has done? And so what I did is I went on Facebook, and I was a big gym rat back in the day before I got old. Um, and so I decided to message a ton of gyms, and I typed out this long verbiage, and I can even message you guys the verbiage that I used, and asked them if it was okay, told them who I was, what we have this new product that just launched, how good it would be for people in gyms, la la la, and asked if it would be okay if I stopped by and introduced myself, and gave everyone samples after their workout, set up a table and gave everyone samples. And I've gotten some good replies back from certain gyms. And so that's one. So I want my team, our team, to duplicate that and go around to different gyms, email people, go around to different gyms with our clear protein, and try and get this clear protein into gyms and set up a table and get samples out there and try and sell the clear protein to these gyms. So Dawson and I, my son, are going to, we have a setup next Thursday at his gym, which is actually a bodybuilding gym. It's men and women. So we're going there to set up a table next Thursday, and we're going to try and see what they think over there. We're going to just set up a free sample table and just have them sample it over there and see how it goes over there first. And then I'll probably go around to a couple of these ones that emailed me back. But I think it's a great idea for the team to duplicate this and see where it goes. We can get it into a bunch of different gyms and go from there. Another idea I had was bars. The bars, what I think is there's a lot of bars in town, and obviously I know a bunch of bar owners, and I know Betty knows a bunch of bar owners, and Jody, and all you guys do. So here's my thought: is
It's
what I
not
was
because
doing,
we drink all the time.
no, not that, but I was sitting here thinking the other day, and you know how you go in, and here comes spring and summer's coming, and they have the little signature. Everyone wants to try and drink something healthy, and summer's coming. They're trying to drink these whatever mojitos, whatever. I went to Chat GPT and I put in, please give me some clear protein recipes for healthy drinks. It brought up all these amazing healthy recipes for drinks, you guys. And I was like, boom, that's what we need. And it was amazing. Can you imagine walking into a bar and asking these people, we've got this clear protein. I want you guys to try this. And we've got these recipes. They can put it on a little sheet on the table, try our signature healthy clear protein drink. It's healthy for you, la, la, la. People will pay $9 for this drink. We can get it going in bars. Betty, what's his name, can get it going in his brand new, it's not even open yet as far as I'm concerned. Is it? No. So you could go in and get that going in there. I've already messaged a couple people at Big Herbs out there to see if we could get it in there. But there's so many different bars that we could get it going in. But if they put it on their little tables and had it, just for samples or a signature drink, just to try it, there's so many different recipes. And then we had in Cancun, there was really simple recipes that they gave us, even non-alcoholic ones. I know Big Herbs has Saturdays, they have bingo, and they give out shots if you bingo. I thought even, because kids can play there, you could give a protein, clear protein shot for kids, and even if they wanted to try a clear protein shot, then they could try it then. I mean, there's just so many things you could do with this product. I was just, stoked thinking about it. I'm like, there's so many places that we could all go around to and just go, you guys, let's get our foot in the door and get this stuff moving. So I just think that if we could duplicate this, you guys, we could get together and you guys decide which bars you want to go to, what gyms you want to go to, and I think you need to, have so many bags on hand, obviously, in this before we all go about doing it. So I think we need to talk about it before we go out and do it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a good idea? Yes? No? I mean, I think it's great. I think the bars would be all for it. And then obviously we have our Singular app. They could just, we could share our link right with them there, or what we really would want to do is have them sign up as a next brand partner.
So
obviously
I can see it more in like the gyms and stuff. The bars, I'm a little apprehensive about, just because, I mean, unless they had, like you said, a signature drink, but I just wonder if it's going to be too much work, like having to, and not being able to just grab a bottle and pour it, unless it's like pre-made maybe beforehand. I don't know if it would be.
I was thinking like the pre-made, just like how they have like the Bloody Mary.
Yeah,
mix,
like maybe
so
they
could
have
just
to.
do the.
Well,
I've
I
never
think
been
we're
to a
gonna have
bar.
to maybe present, kind of give them the idea of how to prepare it, so that like make it sound super easy, so they don't think like, okay, now it's a powder, so we have to mix it up beforehand, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what
I'm
I
saying?
mean. We would have to go in there and have them,
Right.
sample it and decide how they would want to serve it. But like in Cancun, they had this little bar and it was slick. They had 3 little drinks that they would serve with it, and you had your option. It would tell the alcohol that was in it, and it was. So we need to get that menu, and I don't know who.
Yeah, and I asked, I'm getting that from Cynthia. She has it, so she's going to get it to me. And I did ask Jamie Bowden too, but it was really slick because they did have it sitting on the bar. So they had the, the frosted lemonade or the blue raspberry mixed and sitting on the bar, and then they added. I know a bar can't do that because it's going to waste it if they have it sitting there ready. But if it's mixed up, so they can pour it. And the thing about this is that you don't have to throw it away at the end of the night. You can, if you have extra left over, it can go into a fridge. You know what I mean? It'll have to be up the next day, but it shouldn't be wasted if, wherever it's used at.
So if they break it down that way, then how many grams of protein are they actually getting then?
Well,
are they promoting that, or?
Yeah, you'd have to decide that. You'd have to figure out for them and with them. And honestly, do people care when they're in a bar?
Yeah.
If you're going to have a drink,
Yeah.
do they say how many grams of protein in my?
Well, no, but I mean,
know
I'm
what
just
you're
thinking,
saying,
if they're wanting a healthy drink,
Greg,
what's
Greg,
the
don't
purpose of
fall off
doing
the
a healthy
chair.
drink if you don't know how many grams of protein you're trying to shoot for?
Mainly, Jody, the healthy drink is putting the liquor in there with it, like the,
Starts out healthy, and then you have.
You're not drinking beer and all the calories in it. You're putting a good liquor in it.
Okay, is anybody else watching Greg?
I know, I'm watching Greg.
We're just going on that fine line of what's really healthy. We'll say health, right? Anyway, it starts out.
But I get what you're saying. I'm following you. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it.
Like people are drinking those carbless drinks and all that. Ours has the no sugar. All of that stuff in it. That would be way, way healthier than any of that other stuff. So
they can make it as a shot too.
Huh?
They can make it as a shot too.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I think it's just great to have things you're thinking outside the box, and looking at what's working and then adding to it, and you've got to decide, like, you're probably not going to do everything all at once. You're probably going to focus on the gyms because most likely you're going to have most of your sales at the gym. So that would be a great focus, especially if you're going to a gym already, or people that go to a gym, just using that resource and getting that connection.
Well, and I just think it's a great way for us to duplicate and to grow our team. I mean, this is if we're going to do this, we all have to, say, yep, let's do this. And we pick, Jody, you pick 4 places you want to go to, and Betty, and, you guys, I think if we all did this together, I think our team is going to grow. And, I think it's just a good idea. My mind's always spinning and I'm thinking of different things. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to, grow, and I want to do something different. And this is something somebody else has not done. And I just happened to think of it one day when I was laying in bed, and I'm like, why wouldn't we do this? So, and yeah, I just happened to get some people emailing back.
Another idea is, my accountability partner and I came up with this idea we're to selling a scoop of the clear protein it was for $5 if they wanted to try it. And then, if they wanted, we could throw in a trim sticks for maybe $2 more or something like that. But, and then using those labels that, Kala had talked about, but then we kind of had tweaked it and added our information and stuff like that. So that was another thing of possibly going to the gyms and selling them that way and giving them samples to try. But I like the taste testing idea too. I think that would be, beneficial as well.
Yeah, and that's a really good idea, because you could have the samples right there. Because I know that's one thing Heidi and I were talking about. Is when you're doing the sampling, do you have bags that you can sell right there? And but samples would be another really great thing to have right there, because a lot of people are going to buy. I know that we talked to Lacey about pricing, because we saw some people were pricing it at $10 a sample, and she priced it at $4.95, and her thought was, I'm going to tell them that I'm giving it to you, that I'm selling it to you because most people will buy something for $5. So you tell them, I'm giving it to you for $4.95, I'll pay half, and then you'll recoup that $10, because when you order it, I'll give you a $10 off code. So they're really getting it for free. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good idea.
They're thinking about that. Well, if and then somebody else Melissa was telling me she did 2 for $10. So she gave them a scoop of each for $10, which then again, is a $5 a serving. You're losing a little bit of money. You're really just paying for the product, and the stuff you're putting it in, not paying for shipping, all that doesn't, so you're going to have a little bit of a loss, but that's a write-off for you. But just another way, if you don't have enough bags to sell them bags right away, you can have some samples sitting there that they could buy and get started with, at least until they got theirs.
Yeah, and then we added like our phone number and our link, because then that way, if they want to order it, once they taste it or whatever, they can just go right to our website and order it, or call us, So that was another way. I had talked to a cousin of mine who's huge into lifting and whatever. And so he's going to give me the number to his gym person so that I can reach out and see if I can set up a table there, or come in and visit with him and drop off some samples or something like that.
Yeah. So Betty, I thought this would be a good idea for you to mention to Kelly for his, what's that bar called? And why do I want to say
Unhinged.
Unhinged? Yeah.
And I'm actually just messaging their bar manager.
Okay.
And just to talk to him, because I want to talk to him first, because I know them, unfortunately.
Okay.
I shouldn't say unfortunately, but they know my drink. Okay. Just to message them to see what they could think of, because they're the ones that are the creative ones on that. But then pulling in the 2 owners on that, and that would cover probably Big Herbs as well.
Yeah.
So
I've messaged Brittany and Joe out at Big Herbs, because they manage out there now. So, but I just thought with them not even open yet, it would be a good time to get them involved with maybe just getting a little thing made for the tables, and even put on their menu if they wanted to. But anyway.
I'm also going to message Sarah at the Grotto, where we had our party.
Oh yeah,
because they like to do they have every night, they have a specific nights, they have like a watch party, and then they have a signature drink. And being there at the spa and everything, I had thought about maybe she would, want to maybe sign up under me and then bring in the product, and then she could just have it as a drink after people get done with the spa. Or we could turn, like now that you said, the alcohol drinks, we could turn it into a signature drink.
Yeah. See, yeah, that was what I was trying to, a signature drink. I was like,
Yeah.
couldn't think of the word, but yeah, that would be a great idea.
I have a question. You know how we're talking about the samples and everything? Is there ever, have they ever talked about doing like a bag that, you do the scoop as well as ones like the trim stick containers?
Yeah, they have,
Yeah.
but the cost of doing that it outweighs the value of it.
Yeah.
It would be too costly for us to be able to do that. In fact, for them giving us the discount that we're getting on it right now, Josh told us that he did tell them you cannot discount this product, and they're doing it already. Now, I will tell you that one of the things we were talking to Lacey about, that the cost of it is pretty comparable when you're comparing it to the kinds of clear protein that are similar to ours. The cost is like we're under their cost, right? But there are cheaper clear proteins out there, but they're cheaper because they have a bunch of other stuff in them, right? So they were, silicone for one, right? But anyway, so they were looking at like, how do we adjust the price to get more into people's hands? Because once we get it in their hands, they're going to want to keep it, right? And so because you become addicted to it, really. And so so one way to do that is what we're doing now, where we have a special pricing for a month. And then if we stay with the special pricing, people don't go like, oh, why are we not back up to that, to that higher price? But here's the thing too, is that if we can talk about it, about the value of it at the price point that it is, and we're all using it, we know we need to order at least 2 bags a month. So because it's a 20 serving, but all clear proteins, like if you look at them, a lot of them, not a lot of, everyone I've looked at is 20 servings, unless it's the big, container or whatever. But if people can understand that, the value of keeping it in their system, and then the value of getting at the subscription, now you've built that, so they aren't going to go, and they're probably going to order more other products because they see the value of this product and how good it works, and then adding in the GLP-X or adding in the gut glow drink. So
yeah, Heidi, you'll have to share those recipes that you found.
Oh yeah. And like I said, I use that Chat GPT for everything, like for a lot of my posts now.
Yeah, I do too.
I use that like all the time now. But even for like that post that I made for how great it would be for daycares and stay-at-home mamas and stuff like that. And that one got a lot of attention. Just to be creative with your post like that. Chat GPT is great. Like it, and I'm so glad that we've got that app now. Yeah, so I will share that, and I can share.
Can you share the email verbiage that you sent out? Yep. And would you do that on our team page, not in but go to our team page and share it in there? Yeah, people can just go grab it from there if they want.
What else was I going to tell you? Oh, and then Jody, you wanted to see my board?
Yeah.
If you guys can see this, it's kind of hard to see. So can you guys see kind of, sort of?
Yeah.
Let's see. So I always put Founders Club up here where the next Founders Club is, the date of it and where it's going to be. And then I always put the qualifications. So I'll put need 100 points, and then I'll put what I've got so far. And then I put need 8 legs, and then what I've got so far. And then I put my quick starts here, what I need in my managers. And then when I get my quick starts, I color them in, and I put the initials of the people that I've got. And then my managers, I color them in. Down here are my goals. And here are my quarters. And when I'm quarter qualified, I do a check mark so that I know that I'm qualified for that. And then my quick start names are up here. And then I usually put when they hit them and the dates, and then my manager name and the date. But that's usually how I do it. Sometimes I change it up, but that way I can just look over at my board and see where I'm at as far as numbers and how many I need and where I'm at.
Can you take a picture of it and send it in our group here?
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know, my eyes can't see that.
Yep, but that's sometimes it's a little more different than that way, that one, but it's kind of how I've always done it. But I always have my goals kind of down at the bottom so I know right where those are at, and the Founders Club dates and where it's at, and then how many points and what I've got, and all that jazz over there. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've done, and it's always right there for me, and I just know where I'm at every day. So, and then I have this little board that it's just a little tiny one that I kind of put like, here's the March promos. I was writing it on the board, but I just kept erasing it. I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna write it and tape it on here, and then I put my to-dos over here, what I have to do each day normally, and then I'll just erase it. And so I just like those little ones because you can put your to-dos and different things on there. So I've got crap all over here. You don't even want to look at this office. It's not even good. So, but that's just what I do. I have notebooks everywhere, a piece of paper, because I like to write notes down, and that's just how I organize things. And I have this lovely thing. You guys are gonna laugh at me, Jody and Nancy did. But this is my file cabinet that I take with me to their houses when I do little trainings and stuff, and it works just fine.
Yeah.
I just do, I just label it, and then I can close it, carry it with me. But hey, it works. But yeah, so that's how I keep my stuff organized. But hey, that's how it works, and that's how I stay organized. But anyway.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So
Yeah.
hopefully you guys have some things that you can take with you, take away and start implementing, start looking at what you're doing, and and adding to it or adjusting it. And then, really looking at, like, am I just managing things, or am I building? And then if you have questions at any time, be sure to reach out. And there's not, it's not to say this is the only way you can do it. This is the only way that it works. It is adjusting it for you and for the people. Like, for instance, we probably aren't going to relate really well to young pregnant women. We'll be able to share with them, we'll be able to connect with them, but that's not our niche or our market, right? And so it doesn't mean we're not going to do it, but that's not where we focus our attention. So anyway, but we're gonna let you guys get off.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
One thing about the app. I don't know if everybody watched the one video of somebody, I can't remember who did the training, about adding a contact, saying Facebook and the date and everything, and then you add it. Ooh, sweet. To add that as a contact. So Facebook, and would be 310 today. And we do the link, and you can see how many people like look at it.
Yeah.
That's like blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yay. So
I know.
okay.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome
is.
that you can
And
do
then
that.
it's like, who's on at midnight looking at my stuff? I'm like, but it drives me crazy not knowing who it is. But
Yeah, but at least it's being clicked on. At least by dating it like that, which post got the information or got the click.
Got the most likes from it. Yeah.
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
I just got to receive a message to bring over some samples this week.
Oh, there you go.
Yay.
Awesome.
There you
Because
go.
they're just finalizing their drink menu this week.
There you go.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining, and we'll see you at 8.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.